Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press. Chloe, welcome to Esplanade Weekend. Mr. Vivian and Emily. Good afternoon, all the exec team. We have all of them here, and of course, Minute Secretary, EA, many hats, and of course, councillors. The only one that's missing today, obviously, is Councillor Oborn. So I'll start the meeting with the acknowledgement to country. So the Shire of Esperance acknowledges the Kepakul Wurundjeri people of this Noongar nation and Ngadju people who are the traditional custodians of this land and their continuing connection to land, waters and the community. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and we extend that respect to other Aboriginal Australians today. So as I said, welcome everybody. Councillor Oborn is on a granted leave of absence currently, so she's the only one of the councillors that are missing. Everybody else is present. So I'll move to item 4, which is applications for leave. Are there anybody wishing to make an application for leave? Councillor De Haas.
Yes, I've just got 2 very small ones, but given the time of year, I thought it'd be better to put them in. 27th to the 29th of November and the 4th to the 9th of December.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any others? Anybody else looking for leave of absence? Take it they're the only ones. Do I have someone move that we accept the Councillor Councillor Davies? Do I have a second? Councillor McMullen, thank you very much. No need to discuss it. Those in favour? 9-0, thank you. 8-0, sorry. Item 5 is announcements by the person presiding without discussion. There is nil. Item 6 is declaration of members' interests. So we will start with declarations of financial interest. Are there anyone with declarations of financial interest? There is nil. Declarations of proximity interest. Councillor McMullen.
Yes, thank you. Proximity interest for item 12.2.1 road dedication reserve.
Thank you. Are there any further declarations of proximity interest? Declarations of impartiality interest. Councillor Johnson.
I'd like to declare an impartiality interest in item 12.1.1, the partial closure of public access way, McGlade and Cable Laneway, lot 56 McGlade Way, Castletown, as the owner of the property is known to me.
Yes. Councillor Davies.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to declare an impartiality interest in item 12.3.1 as the applicant is known to me and a current colleague.
Thank you, Connor. Councillor Graham.
Yeah, declare an impartiality for the Bushfire Advisory Committee meeting 13.2 as I chair the advisory as the BFAC meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other declarations of impartiality? No worries. Item 7 is public question time. So there's no members in the public unless any of the media have a question. Item 8 is public addresses and deputations. There is nil. Petitions, nil. Thank you. Confirmation of minutes. Everyone obviously received the minutes, they were sent out earlier and had time to read those minutes. Is there anything arising from those minutes? Do I have someone moving that they are a true and accurate record of the last meeting? Councillor Starcevich, thank you. Seconder, Councillor McMullen, thank you very much. No further questions or discussions required. I'll take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0, thank you. Delegates' reports without discussion. Councillor Starcevich.
Yes. As tabled, sorry.
All right. Councillor Johnson?
Well, I've got a lot to add because I did email mine through and there was a whole lot of them.
Yes, Councillor Johnson, aware of that. You were asked to email them through by Monday so that they
Oh,
could
that's
be
all right. Well,
included.
I'll just have to say no, won't I? So,
No, if you like. Is there anything important that you wish to speak to with them? Otherwise, we can have them added to the minutes.
so we're not going to put them now?
I'll add them to the minutes.
But I've been told that we can't add them after.
Councillor Johnson, is there anything that you wish to add?
From my email. So my emailed list is going to be in the minutes?
Yes.
You told me we can never do that after a meeting.
Councillor Johnson, is there anything you wish to add?
Well, I will add to my emailed lot. There were two that was yesterday that wasn't included in the email, and they are. I attended the Diploma of Local Government mentoring session. Are we adding it? Yes. Yeah, both of these things are yesterday. Oh. Oh, we don't type here anymore.
Councillor Davies, have you got anything you wish to
No,
add?
I have another thing to add, please.
Councillor Davies, do you have anything you want to add to the delegates' reports?
I have the senior
Councillor
citizens
Davies, do you have
committee
anything you
meeting
wish
as
to
well.
add to the delegate report?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just the NBN digital plan meeting and the main roads plating meeting. Thank you.
Excuse me, I haven't been heard, President Chambers. I have two things to add. I would like to add the Senior Citizens Committee meeting yesterday, please. And the Diploma of Local Government was a mentoring session on analysis of financial reports and budgets.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Flanagan?
As tabled, Mr. President.
Nothing to report, thank you.
Councillor De Haas?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Councillor Graham?
You sure that's table? Thank you.
And mine as tabled. Thank you. Right, we'll go to item 12.1.1, which is item 12, which is now the matters requiring the determination of council. 12.1.1 is the partial closure of the public access way for McGlade and Cabell Laneway Lot 56, McGlade Way, Castletown. Mr. Grieve, do you have anything you wish to add to this item?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Do I have anyone wishing to ask any questions in regards to this item? No worries. The officer's report is on page, or the officer's recommendation, sorry, is on page 14. Do I have anyone wishing to move the officer's recommendation or an alternate? Councillor Davies.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to move the officer's recommendation as tabled with points 1 to 3 as tabled. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Stasevich, thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion, Councillor Davies?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Stasevich, do you wish to speak as a second?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Or for the motion or amendment? I'll take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0, thank you. Item 12.1.2, proposed road dedication lot 567 South Coast Highway, Monjima. Mr. Grieve, do you have anything you wish to add to this item?
Thank you, Chair. There are two things I'd like to bring the council's attention to. The name of the applicant has been changed to the estate of Phyllis Mary Hall at the request of the applicant. So you'll notice that throughout the report and in the officer's recommendations. And also a second thing, an addition has been made to the officer's recommendation, which is to clarify the purpose of the dedication. So you'll notice that in the officer's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions in regards to this item? Okay, the officer's recommendation is on page 21. Do I have anyone wishing to move the officer's recommendation or an alternate motion? Councillor McMullen.
I'm happy to move the officer's recommendation that council request the Minister of Lands to dedicate the indicated portion of lot 567 on plan 404416 South Coast Highway, Monginup as a road. 2, advise the Minister of Lands that in accordance with section 56(4) of the Land Administration Act 1997, the Shire recognises that it is liable to indemnify the Minister against any claim for compensation in an amount equal to the amount of all costs and expenses reasonably incurred by the Minister in considering granting the request. And 3, advise the Minister of Lands that the estate of Phyllis Mary Hall agree to indemnify the Shire of Esperance against any cost and claims that may arise as a result of the dedication.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor House, thank you. Councillor McMullen, do you wish to speak for your motion?
Briefly, this is a rather simple administrative process. The property in question is landlocked, and that's providing the proponents or the applicants with some issues when it comes to traditional bank financing, etc. The proposed dedicated road should have actually been dedicated many years ago when the highway was built through, but obviously the paper trail and the reports from back then are nowhere to be seen. But Councillor Graham actually brought in the maps today from a Landgate, early 80s, I think they were, 1960s, showing where the actual proposed road dedication was. So this is just cleaning up some administrative processes that should have been taken care of some 60 odd years ago.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? For the motion? Oh, sorry, seconder. Councillor House, you're the seconder. Do you wish to speak for the motion?
No, I have nothing to add. I think Councillor McMullen said that most succinctly.
Anyone wish to speak against the motion or an alternate or an amendment, sorry? I take it there's no further discussion. Ready to vote. Those in favour? Those against? 7-1, thank you. Item 12.1.3, which is the amendment to the policies applications lodged by planning staff, senior employees or elected members. Mr. Grieve, do you have any?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions in regards to this item? No questions. The officer's recommendation is on page 25. So anyone willing to move the officer's recommendation or an alternate? Anyone want? Councillor Flanagan? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the officer's recommendation that council adopt policy 0053, applications lodged by planning staff, senior employees or elected members, inclusive of amendments, inclusions, rescissions and deletions, as reviewed.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Davies, thank you. Do you wish to speak to your recommendation?
Only to make the point that this is not an amendment or change that has been initiated by council. So that's a consequence of a decision by the state government. I would provide some additional commentary, but that may be perceived as being reasonably political, so I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor McMullen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I may be somewhat political with this, but I just wanted to voice my opinion against this, because the one thing that I really do not like with this, and I refer you to page 26 of your agenda from the state government, as part of this policy change that, you know, we're effectively forced to adopt, you know, developments of this nature can no longer be referred to or called in for determination by a council's elected member, except where a property is on a local or state heritage list or in a designated heritage area. So this is just a clear-cut way where the state government is just taking away more and more power for local governments to make decisions in their own backyard. And I just wanted to say that out loud for the record.
Thank you. Have any wish to, seconder for that motion was Councillor Davies. Do you wish to speak for the motion?
I think other councillors have stated the effects of this policy and its impacts succinctly. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a speaker against the motion? Speaker for the motion or amendment? I'll take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? Those against?
Protest vote.
Thank you, sir. Item 12.2, 12.2.1, the road dedication of Reserve 36993 and 36994 in Castletown Keys. Mr. Walker, do you have anything you wish to add to this?
Through the chair, I'm happy to take any questions.
No worries. Is there any questions in regards to this item? No questions. The officer's recommendation is on page 32. Is there anyone willing to move the officer's recommendation or an alternate? Councillor Davies.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll actually read it this time. I'd like to move the officer's recommendation that Council 1 requests the Minister of Lands to dedicate indication portions of reserves 36993 and 36994 as road reserve in accordance with section 56 of the Land Administration Act 1997 and regulation 8 of the Land Administration Regulations 1998. And 2, advise the Minister of Lands that in accordance with section 56.4 of the Land Administration Act 1997, that the Shire recognises that it is liable to indemnify the Minister against any claim for compensation in an amount equal to the amount of all costs and expenses reasonably incurred by the Minister in considering and granting the request.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Flanagan, thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion, Councillor Davies?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, so as we all know, there has been some works going on around the foreshore area, and this proposal brought forward to us by the Shire staff and asset management, it tidies up some of the anomalies in that area, specifically around access with Watercorp and other utility providers such as Horizon Power. This should make everything a lot clearer going forward.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Flanagan, do you wish to speak for the motion?
Only just to probably add that it just clears up land tenure around where assets reside for each of the respective organisations, Watercorp and the Shire. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Anyone speak for the motion or an amendment? I'll take it ready to vote. Those in favour? We're down to 6, not 7 nil. Thank you. Did you just want to grab Steve, please? Sorry, let's see. Item 12.3, Corporate and Community Services, so 12.3.1, the licence reassignment request for the airport vending machines on sites 3 and 4. Ms Baxter, do you have anything you wish to add to this item?
No, thank you, Chair. It's a simple reassignment.
Thank you. Are there any questions in regards to this item? There is no questions. The officer's recommendation is on page 38. Is there anyone willing to move the officer's recommendation? Councillor Stasevich.
Thank you, Mr President. I'd like to move the officer's recommendation that Council 1 reassign the licence with Jasmine Scott for the Esperance Airport vending machine sites 3 and 4, portion of lot 15 Coolgardie Esperance Highway Gibson to Cody Smith, and 2, charge a reassignment fee of $245.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Johnson, thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion, Councillor Stasevich?
No, I think as Ms Baxter said, it's just a simple reassignment.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Johnson, do you wish to speak for the motion as a seconder?
It's just an administrative procedure, so not really, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wish to speak against the motion? For the motion or an amendment? I take it ready to vote. Those in favour? Thank you. Yeah. Item 12.3.2, which is the payment of accounts listing for November 2024. Ms Baxter, do you have anything to add to?
Through you, Chair, no, but I'm happy to take any questions.
Does anyone have any questions in regards to this item?
I had a very busy day with emailing and I didn't get my email to you for what the questions I did have on the payments. Am I able to email after the meeting or I can't and I need to ask it now? Is that?
Do you have the question there?
Well, I'm not really prepared, but it's just like my delegates report. Obviously that's getting added after, so am I able to ask these specific things after or not?
You can email your query in after the...
Thank you very much, Mr Baxter. Thank you.
Bearing in mind that... Thank you. Is there any other questions in regards to this item? I take it the officer's recommendation is on page 41. Do I have anyone willing to move the officer's recommendation? Councillor De Haas, thank you.
Yes, I'd like to move the officer's recommendation that council receive the list of accounts paid for the period 1st to the 31st of October 2024 as listed in the attachment.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Stasevich, thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion, Councillor De Haas?
Yes, just simply this is a list of the accounts that have been paid for this time, very well written out, very self-explanatory, and we thank the staff for their loving care that they take in this.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Stasevich, do you wish to speak for the motion?
Nothing further to add, thank you.
Anyone wish to speak against the motion? For the motion or amendment? I take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0. Thank you. Item 12.3.3, which is a financial services report for 2024. Ms Baxter, do you have anything you wish to add to this one?
Through you, Chair, no, I'm satisfied that the accounts are in order.
Thank you. Do I have anybody with any questions in regards to this item? If there are no questions, do I have someone willing to move the officer's recommendation? Councillor De Haas?
Yes, I'd like to move the officer's recommendation that council receive the attached report entitled Monthly Financial Report for the month of October 2024. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for Councillor Flanagan? Thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion, Councillor De Haas?
Yes, our council plan states under the heading of leadership, a financially sustainable and supportive organisation achieving operational excellence. I think these reports reflect this statement. So once again, thank you to our finance staff for this well-rounded, informative report.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Flanagan, do you wish to speak for the motion as a seconder?
Thank you, Mr President. I just would like to make the point, or probably 2 points in relation to what's being reported. That relates to the audit, which will be dealt with in a subsequent or later agenda item, which says that our audit was finalised and unqualified audit opinion was issued by the Auditor General, which is great news. The other thing that I think worth mentioning is that we have a recorded debt of the value of $440,587.41 to Rex. I think that should be highlighted. It's a debt that we've incurred as a consequence of servicing an airline that we didn't have any role in selecting. We've been exposed to that risk, and it is a significant amount of money, and it is a significant concern that we're actually faced with that debt. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Anyone wish to speak for the motion or an amendment? I take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0, thank you. Item 12.3.4, the audit report for the 2023-2024 period. Ms. Baxter, do you have anything you wish to add?
Through you, Chair, nothing to add.
Thank you. Are anyone any questions in regards to this item? There's no questions. The officer's recommendation is on page 93. Is there anyone willing to move the officer's recommendation? Or an alternate? Councillor Johnson.
Yes, I'd like to move that Council receive the 2023-24 annual financial report incorporating the audit report as attached at attachment A, adopts annual financial report and audit report for the 2023-24 financial year, and 3, adopt the changes to the 2024-25 budget as a result of movements in actuals.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Davies, thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion, Councillor Johnson?
I just would like to make a little special mention of our Manager of Financial Services, Ros Hamilton, as she's just completed her first year in her role here, and she's done a superb job along with Mrs. Baxter's lovely guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Davies, would you like to speak as the seconder for the motion?
Thank you, Mr. President. As a councillor, it's always reassuring to see that our financials are in order and that our audit has been concluded with flying colours. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Anyone wish to speak for the motion or an alternate? Councillor Finnegan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to reiterate what Councillor Johnston outlined, is just the stellar work that's been done by our financial reporting team. Unqualified audit reports are a wonderful thing. There were 2 observations listed, but no significant matters raised, which is excellent. And the 2 observations have been addressed satisfactorily. So, it's just great work. And as a councillor, it's just wonderful to see that we continue to have unqualified or unblemished audit reports. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll take that as a statement for the motion. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion or an alternate? Sorry, an amendment. Take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0, thank you. Item 12.4, Exec Services. So 12.4.1, Information Bulletin for November 2024. Mr. Burge, do you have anything you wish to add to this item? Are there any questions in regards to this item? The officer's recommendation is on page 148. Is there anyone willing to move the officer's recommendation? Councillor McMullen.
Yep, I'm happy to move the officer's recommendation that council accepts the information bulletin. Sorry, there we go. Sorry, I'm reading. October 2024. 2, council priorities summary, corporate performance, October 2024. And 3, letter, removal of wildcast, Southeast Fisheries, David Gray.
Thank you kindly. So seconder, Councillor Johnson. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
Yeah, briefly, I just wanted to highlight that letter from David Gray, the Gray family, and South East Fisheries. Being that this meeting is live streamed and recorded, I'm actually just going to read the letter out, addressed to Shane Burge, our CEO. Dear Shane, we were part of the team that removed the whale carcass from West Beach with our vessel Moonstriker on Sunday, 12th of the 10th, 24. As a long-term, family-owned and operated Esperance business, we are more than happy to assist the community and people of Esperance in such emergencies now and in the future. Consider our services a donation to the Esperance community. Regards, David Gray. And I just wanted to publicly thank David Gray and his family, South East Fisheries, and the rest of the team, which obviously included you, Mr. President, as well, assisting with the whale carcass removal.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Johnson, do you wish to speak for the motion as a second?
Yes, well, I definitely was just going to be saying everything that you just said. Councillor McMullen, thank you very much for acknowledging the extreme generosity of this family, especially at a very, very difficult time in their lives, facing what they are with the implementation of the marine park. So I thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Anyone wish to speak for the motion? Against the motion on an amendment? I'll take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0. Thank you. Item 13, reports of committees. Are there any questions in regards to this item? Sorry, did you have anything you wish to add, Mr. Birch? There are no questions. The officer's recommendation is on page 177. Is there anyone willing? Councillor McMullen.
Yep, I'm happy to move the officer's recommendation that council accept the unconfirmed minutes of the audit committee meeting held on the 12th of November 2024.
Thank you. Is there a seconder for that motion? Councillor Tahas, thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion, Councillor McMullen?
I don't think this needs much further commentary after Councillor Flanagan's recent comments about the recent unqualified audit.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Tahas, do you wish to speak for the motion as a seconder?
No, thank you.
Anyone wish to speak for the against the motion? For the motion or an amendment? In that case, I'll take it ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0. Thank you. Next one. Right, just looking for the next item. 244. Thank you. Item 13.2, the minutes of the Bushfire Advisory Committee. Do you have anything to add to this, Mr. Birch? Any questions in regards to this item? The officer's recommendation is on 244. Do I have anyone willing to move the officer's recommendation? Councillor Graham?
Yeah, I'm happy to remove the recommendation that council accept the unconfirmed Bushfire Advisory Committee meeting minutes held on the 14th of October 2024.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Dahas, thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion, Councillor Graham?
Yeah, just again, getting ready for a summer season and harvest at this meeting, obviously before, well, it was actually after harvest started because harvest started a bit early this year, but we just need to commend the fire brigades for the efforts that they do, preparing themselves for protecting assets of our community and businesses in Esperance. Some of this includes adjusting local laws and fire sheds, mitigation, burning, etc. So This is one of two main meetings we have for the year where we make these decisions, and I'd like to thank them for their efforts for that.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Hash, would you like to speak for the motion as a seconder?
Just ready to wish all the bushfire brigades well for this season and hope it all goes smoothly. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Anyone wish to speak for the motion? Look, I'll take this opportunity to speak for this motion too, and mainly to reiterate what Councillor Graham said. I would like to extend our thanks to the guys that are involved in the Bushfire Brigade. It's really good to have such a invested brigade. You only need to have a look at the members' attendance and the amount of people that actually come in, and they do more than just get on the back of a truck when we're needed. They actually care about the environment, they care about the community, they care about their role, they care about the safety of others and what they can achieve. So you've only got to have a look at the number of people that turned up for that meeting, the involvement they had in the meeting, and it shows that we have a fantastic group of people out there willing to hit the ground running if needs be. So just a thank you from us. So speaker against the motion? Speaker for the motion? An amendment? I'll take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0, thank you. Item 13.3, proposed bushfire brigades local law. Mr. Grieve, did you have anything you wish to add to this?
Nothing to add, thank you, Chair.
Are there any questions in regards to this item? The officer's recommendation is on page 259. Do I have anyone willing to move the officer's recommendation? Councillor Graham?
Okay. Yeah, look, I'd like to move the officer's recommendation that council request the CEO to 1, give local public notice of the proposed Shire of Esperance Bushfire Brigade's local law in accordance with section 3.112.3 of the Local Government Act 1995. 2, forward a copy of the proposed local law public notices to the Minister for Local Government and Minister for Emergency Services. And 3, prepare a further report at the conclusion of the public submission period to enable council to consider submissions.
Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Starcevich, thank you. Councillor Graham, do you wish to speak for your motion?
Yep, this is a fact that we need laws to for our brigades to abide by and give them direction, and there's some minor changes that we did previously that needs to go out for further public submissions. So this is a process that we're carrying forward to do that, and maybe next year we'll pass it.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Starcevich, do you wish to speak for the motion as a seconder?
No, nothing further to add, thanks.
Thank you. And wish to speak against the motion? For the motion or an amendment? In that case, I'll take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? Thank you. 8-0. Item 14, motions of which notice has been given. We have one up there. Councillor Starcevich, do you wish to speak, to move your motion?
Yes, I will, thank you. I'd like to move a motion that council request the CEO to write to Main Roads to provide a public toilet at the truck stop near Cade'up Creek on the South Coast Highway.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor McMullen, thank you. Councillor Starcevich, would you like to your motion, please?
Yeah, I think I'd just like to see a rest stop there. This is one of the major large rest areas for trucks coming in and out of Esperance on that South Coast Highway. If Main Roads want to put a parking bay there, they should provide some facilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor McMullen, will you speak?
Nothing further, thank you.
Is there anyone wish to speak for the motion? And will speak against the motion or an amendment? I'll take it ready to vote. Those in favour? Thank you. 8-0. Item 15, members' questions with or without notice. Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to ask a couple of questions, please. The first one being, do I speak slowly so it can be typed or no?
It's recorded. It's recorded, so we'll type it up in the meeting.
Okay. Don't do much at the meeting anymore. Since our briefing on this matter that was scheduled for last Tuesday was cancelled, I would like to ask what the current status of the compliance with the caravan park or camping ground licences for the parks that were only issued temporary licences, including the Duke of Orleans Park, are at, please. Thank you.
Or Mr. Gray? Mr. Gray?
Thank you for the question through the chair. Our health team, environmental health team, are engaging with our caravan parks in relation to renewal of their licences that are due to expire at the end of the calendar year. Inspections are being undertaken in relation to previously identified non-compliances, and the relationship between our staff and the operators of the caravan parks has been constructive, and they're moving towards more and more in line with the conditions on the licences, so the number of non-compliances are reducing over time, which is great to see. Makes them a safer place for the community members to enjoy, and means that we won't have to do these things in future possibly. There is a proposal to, the staff will be working to renew those licences in due course.
So just to follow on, so because that's due for next month, isn't it? So it just gets renewed, does it? I know the Duke one was due for next month because I remember going against it at the meeting.
Mr. Gray?
Thank you. Through the chair, yes, the licences that were renewed for a shorter period by council decision earlier in the year are due to expire at the end of the calendar year, and if possible, they will be renewed.
Is there any further questions?
So yes, there is. So that's not a definite from what you said, but anyway, I'll leave that. My second question is, could we please have an update on how your efforts and negotiations are proceeding with the owner of 2 Andrew Street, the derelict block in our main street, please? Thank you.
Are you happy to answer that? Yes, I had a follow-up phone call with the owner of 2 Andrew Street. At this point in time, he's indicated that he is not willing to proceed any further. Any further questions?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Are there any other members with or without question? With or without notice? Item 16, urgent business approved by decision. Urgent business?
Yes, councillors, we do have a late item, item 16.1. It was sent around, I think, yesterday. And so, yeah, we'd like council to consider this item, kids sport program fee modifications, just to insert some fees into our Bay of Isles Leisure Centre that align with the state government's, I suppose, what do you call it?
Sport.
I guess kids sport program, yeah, for free entry to the Bay of Isles Leisure Centre for the next 6 months. Would need a motion for council to accept.
Can I have someone move a motion that we accept the urgent business? Councillor McMullen, thank you. Councillor De Haas. I don't know that it needs any further debate. Other than that, it's those in favour? Thank you. 8-0. Was there any further you wish to add around that?
Maybe Mr. Grieve, it was his item. So, yeah.
Thank you, Chair. As the CEO stated previously, this item's in relation to kids sports and funding for kids to be able to access our pool. It's a seasonal thing in other towns to have pools open over the summer period. We're lucky enough in Esperance, through the hard work of our staff and the council, to have a pool open all year long. However, this program only funds kids access for a period. We don't have a 6-month fee currently, and we would like to institute that fee so that we could take advantage of this funding arrangement, which would mean that we could allow more kids to access the pool for free.
Thank you. Are there any questions in regards to that item? The officer's recommendation is up there on the board. Do I have anyone willing to move? Councillor De Haas.
Yes, I'd like to move the officer's recommendation that Council 1 introduce A, Kids Sport Regional Pool Pass Child under 12 years aquatic membership fee of $200. B, a Kids Sport Regional Pool Pass concession, student 12 to 18 years, aquatic membership fee of $250 for eligible children to participate in the Kids Sport Regional Pool Pass program at the Bay of Isles Leisure Centre within the 2024-25 fees and charges. And 2, direct the CEO to advertise fees by giving local public notice in accordance with section 6.19 Local Government Act 1995.
Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Johnston, thank you. Councillor De Haas, do you wish to speak for your motion?
Yes, I think this is an absolutely fantastic opportunity for us. It's working towards getting children out of the house, away from the electronic gadgets. It's encouraging them to take part in sports. It's a really good opportunity for people, especially families on a lower income, to be able to do this. Not all of them can afford to take the kids to the swimming pool every day of the summer holidays, so take advantage of it. If Kids Sport are going to pay for those children to do that, then let's go for it.
Thank you. Do I have anyone wishing to speak against the motion? Excuse me, Councillor Johnson, do you wish to speak for the motion as the seconder?
Nothing really much to add except to say it's a good initiative of the Shire to be doing this and embracing the opportunity for the children. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone wish to speak against the motion? Anyone wish to speak for the motion? Or an amendment? In which case I'll take it you're ready to vote. Those in favour? 8-0. Thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Birch. Item 17, matters behind closed doors. There is none. Public question time. No further questions from the public. In which case I'll declare the meeting closed. Thank you.